Hey everyone, so have you ever yourself or known somebody who was, what we like to say, a do what I say, not what I do type of person? And have you ever caught yourself giving some advice to somebody, but you weren't taking those actions yourself? Well, that's where I found myself this last week. And so and not intentionally, of course, I'm never going to be that guy that tells somebody, suggests somebody to do something or recommend something that I'm not doing myself, at least not intentionally. But I found myself in a situation where, for those of you that have followed me here or have worked with me directly or been to some of my webinars or some of my classes, you know that I'm a huge advocate of consistency is not key. Consistent action is key. You have to consistently take action or nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. You can be consistently lazy or consistently doing the same thing and not see any different results. So I found myself in a situation just recently. And you know, I've got a big focus now on getting healthier, losing some weight. And that's really where I found myself in that. You know, I've been talking and coaching on consistent action is key. But when it came to my health, I wasn't doing the same. I wasn't taking consistent action. And it doesn't take much. You know, I posted the other day about the compound effect, and you guys know, if you don't know what that is, compound effect is basically the short version, without going into the formula, is little actions done daily will add up to big results over time. It's something that Jim Rohn preached on. He didn't call it the compound effect, but Jim Rohn was a real big advocate of little actions daily. And then, of course, if you follow Tom Ziglar, he likes to talk about the secret to success is changing one bad habit into one good habit. And it's huge. Habits are really the big thing. But you need to take consistent action on those to make them happen. So this is where I'm at now. So whereas when we first moved into this condo from our house, I had a daily checklist up on my whiteboard. Well, I don't have a whiteboard here anymore. They're packed away in storage. So I found myself not consistently taking action, and I wasn't doing any, well, I can't say any, but I wasn't doing very good at tracking things either. And so what gets measured gets improved is a famous phrase for leaders and leadership trainings. So what gets measured gets improved. What gets tracked gets improved. But if you're not tracking what you're doing, thanks Steve, love you too. If you're not tracking what you're doing, if you're not actually recording it, then how do you know? A week from now you can come back and go, what did I do back then? What did I do a week ago? So that's the other thing. So now I talk about the consistent action to get healthier and consistent with my family and everything else. So I put together this little thing here. It's just a daily positive habits checklist, and you can see I'm working through it here. And I've been handwriting it. Yes, exactly, Steve. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. I was handwriting it on just sheets of paper for the last couple of weeks, but now I just actually created this little, laminated sheet. And like I said, my whiteboard and my pens are all, my dry erase pens are all in storage. So Anika's gonna pick me up some dry erase pens today while she's out running some errands. So I'm not putting those sticky things on there. But it's really been an eye opener. Especially I mentioned the other day about tracking everything. So now I walk around and I literally just carry around this little pocket-sized notebook, and I track everything, literally everything I spend, everything I eat, drink, everything that's, every bit of exercise I do, whether it's steps, whether it's push-ups, sit-ups, walking, miles. It's very eye-opening when you actually start tracking that stuff. I used to be really, really good at that when we had our house, and a lot of things I kind of let slide while we've been in this condo, and I admit I've made all kinds of excuses. That's okay. That's okay. That part is, we only have from today forward. We can choose to live in the past, which is live in regret, which I choose not to do, or we can choose to live in the fear of what's to come, the future, or we can live for today and take the actions today that we know we can take. And that's where I choose to be. I choose to be taking the actions today. And now, with this consistent actions, I've already lost 7 pounds in the last week that I've done that since taking those actions. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dave. But just in the last week, I've already lost 7 pounds just by taking consistent actions. And it's not much. So I make sure I walk at least 2 miles a day, which I've actually been walking 4 miles now. I do 5 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. It doesn't sound like much, does it? 5 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. But when you consistently do them every day, 2 weeks from now, it's going to become 10 push-ups and 20 sit-ups. But you got to start somewhere. This is where so many people fall off on their New Year's resolutions because they try to take on too much at once. Instead of taking small actions and compounding them over time, they try to take on the whole shebang all at once, and then they're like, oh, this is overwhelming, this is too much, I can't do it, and it falls off. So remember, take consistent actions and document it. Document everything. If you don't document it, then it's not going to happen. So like what Steve said, what gets measured, what gets managed. So make sure you actually record what you're doing. Track what you're spending, track what you're eating, track what if you're trying to get more sales in your business, track how many people you reached out to, track how many people you connected with on LinkedIn, track how many people you sent a friend request to on Facebook, track how many conversations you had. And if you come at the end of the week, you look at it and you might be going, wow, either I'm doing as much as I thought, or I could be doing a lot more. But if you don't track that, you don't measure that, then you're never gonna know. So it's really helpful. So make sure, again, so that's the ultimate point of this is one, track everything you do that you want to improve on. Now, if it's something you're not worried about, you're not trying to get better at, then maybe you'd be wasting your time tracking it. But if it's something you want to improve on, make sure you're documenting it, tracking what you're doing, what you're currently doing. And then you can decide if you need to make improvements or not. And then take consistent action. Consistent action is the key. Not consistency is key. Like we said earlier, consistency is only key if you want to keep doing the same thing and over and not seeing a different result. But consistent action on improvements on little things each and every day. That's exactly right, Dave. That's where I started with this video is my actions were not necessarily aligning with who I am or who I say I was, at least in the sense that I was talking about when it came to the health and wellness. Anyway, so consistent action, track everything you do, and the results will compound over time. You'll be amazed at how fast things happen when you take those little itty bitty steps every day. Just like I said, 5 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and walking 2 miles. I've lost 7 pounds in a week. That's a pound a day. And I'm gonna keep on going. And I'm gonna add, there's other things on this checklist that also apply to my coaching practice and to my relationship with my kids and my wife. There's all kinds of these positive daily habits that are gonna be happening. And it looks like a lot. You look at this list and you're like, oh man, that seems like a lot. That's gonna take a lot of time. It really doesn't. In fact, some of them actually say, do this for 10 minutes. Some of them do this for 15 minutes. It does not take that much time. It does not take that much time. So that's what I got for you guys today. Really appreciate everyone that dropped in. Make it a great day. And always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends.